in front Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you guys?
Good. How are you?
Good.
So, Carla, I have to tell you, my daughter Ashley is going to be my new admin assistant. So she's taking the orientation in my place.
That sounds good.
Because I need help.
You need help. Your files are good. Some of them are nightmares, but not all of, not yours, but
Sure.
yeah, not yours, really. I'm serious. Do either
So
of
Carla,
you
how's it like being back in Cleveland?
It's good. It's good to be with family. I see
Well,
my family quite a bit, so that's the good part.
That's good.
But the weather, well, it could be better.
Yeah, I heard you guys had some snow, what, about a week or so ago?
Yeah, maybe an inch. It went away right away though. It's, I'm ready for like 6 or 7 inches of snow, be snowed in. Just for a minute and then it could go away. But the traffic is nothing. I mean, it's like, wow, which is nice.
Yeah, well, Cleveland has all those lanes. It's not like 45 where there's only 2 lanes.
Yeah, well, I'm about 60 miles south of Cleveland, so
Right, you're in Akron, Canton, that's right. That's right.
yeah. So, I mean, the traffic is, yeah. I think I filled my car up once since I've been here.
That's good, saving on money on gas, that's good.
No kidding, yeah, yep.
That's really good.
We'll get started here in just a couple minutes. See if anybody else is going to get on here. Do you either of you have your opportunities open?
No, but we can.
I'm signing in right now.
Oh, okay. Just because if you can send me a little note through one of them, just so I have it and I can show the new people where to find them. You know what I mean? Add a comment. Thank you, Tina. One more minute and we'll start. See how many people come on here. Hi, Christine.
Hi, good morning.
How you doing? Good?
So far, so good. I'm writing out a bunch of letters to my farm right now, so I'm doing all.
Oh, who's in Ignite? Are you in Ignite?
I'm not. I completed Ignite in my last market center, so
Okay.
I have some on my calendar to pop into because I'd just like to see a different perspective on maybe how things have been taught,
Right, right.
but I'm not doing the full thing over again.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right, well, let's get started. It's 9:30. So, let's see. Here I am. In all my glory. Welcome to compliance orientation. So I'm just gonna tell you what I do. And then we'll go over stuff that you all need to do to stay in compliance, okay? So what I do, let me see if I can share my screen. Can you see it? Oop, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay, good. Oh, there it is. Yep. I don't know what's going on with my picture, but I'm gonna put my. Anyway, all right. Can you hear me all right?
Yes,
Yes, good morning. We can hear you.
Good morning. All right, so this is what I see every day. I get a list of people who have submitted their paperwork. And what I do is, so I check off the submitted, resubmitted, and changed. And that's what I check every day. So I just go in here and review it. And anything that's wrong, I will send you a note. And it's a love note, so don't think it's bad. So you can see here that this file over here, she did a file and it's approved. So I checked everything that she had to, that was required along here. And approved it. Let me go and try to find one that's not approved. And you can see what you'll see. Well, these are all, let me see. Okay, here's one. This was a while ago, but it was not approved. And it was returned. And what you'll see are the red, it'll be red, like right here, this South Carolina agreement to buy and sell real estate was returned. And now you're gonna know, you wanna know why? You'll get an email as to why, but if you hover over this little dialog box right here, and I tell you exactly where it is and what's wrong. So once you get something returned, look at your file, look in your opportunity, and any of the red ones that say returned, hover over that little dialog box and you'll see what I mean to fix it. Okay? And then once you do that, you would click here and just, once you have the completed one, the corrected one, just press update. And then you'll put that in there, okay? If there's two, if you have an updated one, a lot of people will put it at the end, but I don't want to, that'll get rejected too, because there shouldn't be two of the same documents in the file, okay? So if you have to replace one, just hit those three little dots right here and update and then replace it, okay? Simple enough. Since we're in here, the consultation folder, we don't use. Okay, so if you put something in there, sometimes people will put a lot of the working with real estate agents in there. Just don't submit it for review. I don't care what you have in there, but please don't submit it for review, okay? It's not necessary, because the same things that you have here are most likely in the under contract folder. Okay? If you don't see a placeholder, which this is what I call the placeholders, in this file, then look in like the closed file, because they have a bunch of placeholders as well. So it would be like the concession letter from Sabra, the termite letter, and sometimes it's the agreement to amend, and the due diligence agreement. Those all go in the closed folder. So don't add them to another file. Don't add them to your under contract file. So if there's something that you see that you want to add, make sure it's not in the closed folder before you put it in either the listing or the under contract file. Okay. Does that make sense so far?
Yes.
Okay, any questions? Okay. So what you need to do when you are in your opportunities. So all the forms are going to be usually in DocuSign. Hopefully you all use DocuSign. I know some people use DocLoop. And we can't get into either of those, to be honest with you. As the administrators, we don't get into the DocuSign or DocLoop. So that means if the files are there, you have to transfer them into the command. Okay. Do you all know how to make an opportunity already in command? I think you do.
What was the question again?
Do you all know how to make an opportunity in command?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So that shouldn't be a problem. Once you have that opportunity, that's when you're gonna go into your opportunity. And then you're gonna, all the listed documents are here. You're gonna submit them. I think it should say submit for review or submit to MCA on yours, once you have them all in here. So once you have them in here, you have to attach files from either your computer, or it will say DocuSign, or if you use DocLoop, it'll say DocLoop. So then you're gonna, wherever you're gonna attach files from, if you're on DocuSign, you're gonna choose DocuSign. Okay. With DocuSign, once you press, it'll say get files here, or I forget what it says here for DocuSign. But you're going to press there, click on that, and then it'll come up with a list of the folder or the all the documents that you have in DocuSign. Okay, but you have to choose the right one. So my little hint is in DocuSign, once you have a fully executed contract and something that needs to go into command, I would rename that particular document. So if it's the offer to purchase and you have the buyer's name in there, you're going to have another document that has both of them. You'll have the buyers and sellers signatures on there. Okay, so there's going to be at least two different documents for offer to purchase. One with only the buyer's signature, one blank one with both signatures. So the one that you want to use is the one with both signatures. So that means you're going to right click on that document in DocuSign, rename it, and you could rename it anything, fully executed or whatever, number one, use this, or whatever you want to put in there to distinguish it from the others. so that you know which one to add into the command, okay? So that's my big hint. Otherwise, and I've done this, is you have to keep taking that one out and putting the good one in there, taking it out, making sure you have the correct one. So if you rename it, it makes it much, much easier. Okay? So once you have them in here, just, you're gonna know which ones. Here's your little checklist down here. So the requirement is, you'll see the ones that say required. Obviously, you need to put those documents in there. I have this up simply because I pressed browse. And then if you have them in your files, if you just downloaded them to your computer, you can pull the documents from your files as well. So anyway, back to this. All the ones that say required obviously are required. Oh, this is commercial. Let me get back to one that's not commercial.
I have a question. Once the contract is signed by both seller and buyer,
Yes.
do we need to keep the other contracts? The ones that, like say if you're the buyer's agent, do you need to keep the initial one, or?
I don't think so. No. No, once it's signed, you don't need any of the others, so you can actually delete those and just keep the
Okay.
ones that you want. Yeah.
I wasn't, okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So here's one, so it's required, obviously working with real estate agents and the listing agreement. All right, and so let's just go down this list and look for the ones that are required. And then put all the ones that are required in there. This one, make sure you do the septic and sewer. It's underlined. My goodness, I gotta find a real one. This is a land one. Because I know a couple of these are. Okay. All right, so the working with real estate agent, all these are in here, the ones that say required. Now, you'll notice out here that some of these are underlined. And when they're underlined, that means if you click on that, you can pull that document up. It'll be blank, obviously. So, but if you need to fill that out, then you can just download it to your computer from there. And then upload it into DocuSign if you want.
Could you show where on that screen? Because I have to do that septic and sewer one, like where
Yes.
I can download it from right in command.
Yeah, I just did, right here,
Clicked it. Yep.
you clicked it. And then you just press, or you either print.
Oh,
it
okay.
to
See
the
right
PDF.
there.
Yeah,
Thank
it's right
you.
up here. Either print or download, and then upload it to a command or DocuSign.
May I ask a question?
Sure.
So coming from a different market center, we did not have this particular form as a required document. So
Yeah.
I've not seen this before. So
Okay.
if I'm on the list side, I'm asking my sellers for a current utility bill. Is that what I'm reading?
Yes, that would be one way of verifying it. The utility bill is perfect. That way it's done. If they don't have, or if they don't want to give you a copy of the utility bill, you'll have to call either the city or the county, the utility provider, to verify you cannot ask the seller what it's on, because sometimes believe it or not, the sellers have been wrong. So you can't rely on them. And you can't ask the other agent, like the listing agent. If you're the buyer, you can't ask the listing agent. you have to call either the city or county, the HOA, if it's a townhome or something, or you call the Environmental Health Services Department in the county that the house is in to get septic. Okay,
Okay, and they will, as the realtor, they will give me that information?
usually, yep, they do.
Okay.
Sometimes you ask them to send a copy of the septic permit. Or I don't know if you can find those online. I've never tried to, I think you can. I think you can find the copy of the septic permit online too.
Yeah, I think you're right. I know I've had to do that in Mecklenburg County before just to verify how many bedrooms were on the septic.
Right.
And
Yeah,
you can find almost everything online on Mecklenburg.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So, yeah, just do that, but make sure you fill in who you spoke to, which county and on what date. Same in here. You want to make sure that it is available or not, and if it's connected or not. As of the date you called, who you spoke to, and which utility provider. Okay. And don't forget to put the property address, because I have to send a lot of those back just for that, so. And on this form, if you're the listing agent, that's it, you sign it. Your clients don't have to sign it. But if you are the buyer's agent, then you sign it as well as your buyers. Because the sellers have already disclosed what they think is correct on their property disclosures.
So if you're the buyer's agent, does this have to be filled out before you submit an offer or once an offer has been accepted?
Once an offer has been accepted.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay, so this is one that I have to return a lot because people just, don't attach. Especially if they check or the initial right here, they're saying that a copy of the permit is attached. Okay. So don't initial every one of these, just do what is appropriate. Okay. All right, so anyway, that's what you do. If they're underlined, then you could click right on those. Same with the title insurance and the affiliated business disclosure, because we have a monetary interest in the heritage title and Carolina Gold. We have to disclose that, and that's the RESPA law, that we have an ownership interest or whatever in those companies. So if they choose that, the title insurance selection form, they can choose that. So down here, it's like if they want that heritage title, it's strictly up to them. A lot of times the attorney or the lender will have the title insurance and they just use those. If not, just check this one. I would like my closing agent or attorney to be whoever. And that's that. Okay, they need to sign it. And you need to at least put your name there, okay? So that's the title insurance selection form. And then obviously the affiliated business disclosure just tells that this is the disclosure that you have to give to the buyers buyers. And all they need to do is sign it. Okay. All these other ones, so anything that says required, you have to have them in there. Obviously, if you have a referral agreement or something, then you need to put that in there. So they have an additional provisions addendum. They put that in there. And that's optional, because it's only optional because if it's on this offer to purchase on page, I think it's page 12 now. So I look at the offer to purchase and make sure everything's correct. I don't go this fast all the time, but my computer's slow. One more.
Do you recommend on the 2T that even in the blank spaces, we put NA, or do we just leave them blank?
Yes, definitely put NA.
I just get a couple of different answers from different agents, so, okay.
Oh, really? Yeah. No, everything should be filled out, you know, this should be NA if it's. Nothing's in there because, well, I learned this in one of the classes and it stuck with me. It's one of the instructors said, you know, anybody can put anything in there, but if you've already put something in there, like not applicable or NA or whatever, then they can't really do anything about it.
Correct.
So the reason, so now they have a bunch of things checked here on page, this is page 12, number 13. So I know to look for a seller possession after closing. I know to look for the additional provisions addendum. And I know to look for lead-based paint. And if they aren't in there, I'll mark them as missing. Okay, and then, you know, you'll have to put them in there. Or cross out that they didn't use it. So they have the additional provisions. And then they have the lead-based. And so where's the seller possession after closing? It's not in this one. You look in the closed folder. And there it is, seller possession after closing. Okay. So all three of those are in there, and I'll be able to approve that. If it's let's see, the copy of the earnest money checks. It says conditional. If you're not sure if it's needed, there's that little I or in that circle. And this is what Sabra has done. She gives you a note. Do not mail the copy of the check to anyone. And then if the agent touches the check, we'll submit a copy of that check. Okay. So that's basically what that is. And how do I know that? I don't. So if you at least have the receipt of both our earnest money and due diligence, if they were both applicable, then if you have that, then I don't even bother to look for a copy of the checks because they're conditional. Okay.
Carla,
Yes.
could I ask, I have a question about due diligence, like repair and credits.
Yes.
And I was about to just message Sabra, but my due diligence ends today. So I just got that signed by all parties, like the buyer and the sellers.
Right.
So if we've agreed to the 1,500 credits and the trust is going to have their contractor submit an invoice to the closing attorney for the 1,500, do I need to have the amend, like the 4T
Yes.
to amend still?
Yes.
If it's not coming off the purchase price? Because it's not.
Well, no, but they are giving closing expenses.
Okay, I did email you that the other night.
Yeah, and I started to this morning. That was
That's fine.
9:30 last night. I don't.
Yeah,
answer.
no, I know. I sent it late. That's why I sent it in an email. I'm like, let me just email her and she could read it in
Yeah.
the morning.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Yes, to answer it. Yeah, I started and then I wanted to get the 4T.
Thank you.
So, but anyway, yeah, you would need the agreement to amend just to show that all parties agreed to that $1,500. Okay. So you have to submit that also to the lender or the lender and or attorney. Obviously, you would, for closing, for sure, submit it. So that's what the conditional, if you look on the little I with the circle on it, with the circle around it, those give you, hints as to why you would need that document. Okay? Any questions on that? Okay, so I'm gonna move on. When you choose a file, definitely make sure you're choosing the correct one. I see a lot of them that pick the sale file when it's a new construction. So if it's a new construction and you're the buyer, please choose the new construction. Okay, South Carolina, North Carolina, new construction. Okay, because if you would look into those, there's far less placeholders than on here with this one. So don't be confused as to what you might need for a new construction by having all these that are required, because in the new construction, there's only like 5 or 6 things that are needed. Okay, so you don't need to go through all this, all this stuff when it's not needed. So make sure you're picking the right folder. For sure, the state, North Carolina or South Carolina, and it's a sales listing or whatever, new construction. Okay, so choose the right one right here. So if you have a listing and you have an under contract buyer and they terminate it, you don't need to do a whole other opportunity. All you're going to do is in your under contract, you're going to click on that little thing and add a version. So what that does is pretty much gives you a whole new set of placeholders here that you can put the new buyer's information in. Okay, so that's how you add a version if your first one terminated. You can even do that with a listing. Okay. But usually it happens with your listing and the buyer terminates. Or if your buyer terminates, okay? So if your buyer terminates, I would put that down, excuse me. I would put down terminated and then the address, and then you can pick another version. You would just have to upload the buyer agency working with real estate agent again. And then all the new stuff. But that's easy. Okay. All right. So everybody clear on that? You know how to upload files. You know which ones are required. Now, if you need to add a document, let's say there's one that's not on here. Maybe sometimes she doesn't include the FHA addendum, which I keep meaning to tell her to add that in there. So if they have an FHA and it's not in anywhere in this list, you need to add it. So I click on these 3 dots. There's 3 larger dots right up here, right next to where you attach your files from. Okay. So click on those and then you'll say add a document. Okay. Name your document. I don't care. You just name it FHA agreement. The document type could be anything. I don't care what that is. Whatever you want to put on there. And then, so you've chosen that, and then either browse and add your documents from where you uploaded it, or if it's from DocuSign, choose DocuSign and bring it up from there. And then you save it. Once you hit save, the screen will scroll all the way to the bottom, and that's where that document's added. Okay. And I know to look there all the way to the bottom if it's not in anywhere, like especially when there's a copy, the receipt of the monies, sometimes they're in two separate places. Can everybody hear me okay? I'm like, I don't know what my camera's doing.
Yeah, we can hear you. Your camera's a little wonky, but we can.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I don't know what's going on.
Thank you.
So here she doesn't have, but it says 0. I'll check that. But anyway, if you only have one paper, a lot of times they're on two different papers, the earnest money and the due diligence acknowledgement. So sometimes if I only see one, before I reject it or whatever, approve it, I'll scroll all the way to the bottom. And sometimes people will add the other one down here, okay? So just make sure all that's done. Any questions on adding a new document? Okay,
No.
all right. So now you've submitted them, make sure you click submit for review. Because then that comes up on my queue, okay? Otherwise, it stays open and I don't check open because, well, because there's a lot of them there that are open. And I don't wanna, I don't check every one of those. So you don't wanna wait. Definitely the working with real estate agent, buyer agency agreement, excuse me, and the offer to purchase must be submitted within 3 days of signing. Okay, that's a North Carolina law. So make sure you submit those. What'll happen is, I'll check them. And then I'm gonna just mark everything that's missing. So if this was a copy of if this was missing, if the END check was supposed to be there, I would mark it as missing. And then you'll see that missing, okay? You know, everything should be in there. If I return it, obviously you're gonna see the little note that I showed you. Submit it to the MCA for review. Like I said, when you submit these 3 within the 3 days of signing, I'll check those and either approve them or reject them. And then I'll say it's returned, but I'll leave you a note that says the documents you submitted are approved. Add the other documents when required. Okay, so don't get frantic if your file is returned. Which is why it's so important to submit your documents, at least the other documents, at least 7 days before closing. Okay, because that gives you time to correct anything any errors prior to closing, because it's kind of embarrassing to go up to the client and say, oh, guess what I forgot to do? You know, would you sign this? And then, you know, it's not very professional, I guess. You know, it happens occasionally, but if you submit those documents, I can check them before you close. Okay. Now, if you forget to even submit anything for review, they're all in open status. And the only way I know that they're that the file is closed is when you close. After you close and then says, will you check this file? Because, you know, we've got the check and nothing's there. So submit your files early and often. Okay. All right, now you see this little DA number here. And this is important for you to get paid. This is how you're going to get paid. Okay, how does that DA number come about? Well, you're in documents now. Go over one in the offers and commissions. do this early as well. So you can't do it obviously when you have a listing. But once you're under contract, when you know it's gonna be gone through all the way, do your offers and commissions. And you're gonna click on that. And it'll say add an offer. So she's added this offer. And what you're gonna do is just add the offer and then follow all the prompts. You don't have to do all of them, but the ones I think they have a little red asterisk by them. Fill that out and then accept that offer. So this is good if there's several offers. Apparently, some people put every offer in here that they've had. And then this could be tell the client a good way of comparing the offers. Okay. But so you're going to accept the offer that is accepted. Okay. Once it's accepted, a little thing will pop up around here that says manage commissions. So then you're going to click on that. And then she's already done that, so I can view it. And then just follow the prompts there. And then don't forget to hit submit. Okay. This will say submit. So you just again, edit the information, follow all the prompts, and then hit submit. Okay. Don't forget to hit submit. Because a lot of them will be open and you have to, because we can't submit them. You have to do that. Okay. So that's really, really important because that's how you guys are going to get paid. Any questions on that? Okay. Opportunity details. Don't forget to put the address in here. Once you have it, put it in there so that we know. A lot of times that's how we look up the opportunity. We go by the address. Okay, so that's how we can find it. Now let me look here. In your, can you see this screen now, the Keller Williams Valentine?
Yes.
The website, okay. This is good. You have all the everything in here. I'm sure you guys have been over this. But I go into the forms and checklists. The password to get in there is capital B and then small letter AMC 350. Okay. So this has the general forms. This has everything that's like an office document. So Christine, like I said, with the septic consumer, you can find those in here as well.
Okay, great.
Yeah. This and if you're listing a lot, the lot disclosure is in there, which is also just an office document.
What was that password again, Carla?
It's a capital B and then AMC in small letters and 350.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So these are a lot of your sample forms are in here. The heritage title stuff is in here. Referral agreements and stuff like that. Here's the lot disclosure. If you need to do, if you need to fill that out, here's your septic and sewer. If you're sending a referral to someone, here's our 2023 W-9. So it's got a lot of information in it. And you know what I'm gonna do? This is distracting me. That I'm on like this. Oh. Hang on. I bet you guys can't see that. Now, can you see everything?
Your picture just went to a logo instead of your picture.
Can you see what I am sharing yet?
You can see your Google Drive.
Yeah, okay. That's all that's important. Okay. I don't know, that might not work. Okay, sorry. So anyway, this is a good place to find all these forms.
I have a question about the coming soon no-show, since it's kind of right there. It just reminded me. So going back to what you said about making sure you have any agency agreements or listing agreements into command within 3 days, was that correct? So
Yes,
if I've got a listing coming in May potentially, and we go ahead and sign the listing agreement, I don't know, today, and she
Okay.
decides, yes, she wants to take advantage of the coming soon no-show opportunity, even if the listing isn't coming until May, as long as it's signed, let's say today, it needs to be in command within 3 days.
yes. Mhm.
Okay, just wanted to double check.
So, I mean, I'll be obviously. Now, and in that sense, that's 2 months away. Obviously, you can't do coming soon longer than 3 weeks. Okay, which
Correct.
brings me to another dilemma that I come across quite frequently. And this is probably, like I said, one of the ones that is most often, no, wait a minute, let me go find something. This is the one that I have to return most often. So this is the answer to that question. You want to know what's and most often mistaken. So it's in your listing agreement. It's on page 5. Okay. So I check everything, make sure your dates are right. Some people are still using 2022 dates. I don't know why my computer is so slow. It figures. There it is. All right. Marketing date. Okay, this is really important, especially if you're using coming soon. So this, especially, who was it that's doing the May one, Christine?
Yes, ma'am, that's me.
Okay, so even if you sign it today, you can put when you're starting your coming soon date. Okay, so if your signature's on that today, but this date can be May 1st, okay? That's when you're gonna put it in MLS as coming soon. Okay, and then this date can be whatever, it could be up to May 20th, right, 21st? Okay. Does that make sense?
So your marketing date is the day that it starts in coming soon, and
Correct. And then this date is gonna be when it turns active. This is the status of the listing shall be changed to active on this date.
gotcha.
Okay, that makes sense. So that means this date can be kind of a delayed marketing date. Okay, even though, because if there's no date in either of those, it's got to be in the MLS within 24 hours of being signed.
Can
Okay,
it be in the MLS as incomplete?
nope, it has to be active within 24 hours.
It has to be active within 24 hours. So if she didn't want to take advantage of coming soon, but doesn't want it to go live until May, Then I shouldn't be signing a listing agreement until May?
You can sign the listing agreement, but put the date that it's gonna go active here in the commencement of marketing. So if you're not gonna use coming soon, don't check that box and don't put a date in there. But then you're still using kind of a delayed marketing date, even though it's not gonna technically be called delayed marketing anymore. But this is gonna be your date that you're gonna start the firm authorizes to commence marketing the property on this date.
So you can
So-
put it in the MLS. I'm confused now. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, if they're not taking advantage of coming soon and we sign the listing agreement today and she just wants it to go live May 1st, let's say, for
Okay.
example.
Yeah,
I have to put this in the MLS within 24 hours of signing it as
no,
active.
no. Not if you have May 1st right here on this one.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get the putting it into command within 3 days, but having to put it in the MLS within
Really?
24 hours.
Of the date, if you don't have a date in here. Does that make sense? So if you don't have a commencement of marketing date here, it's expected that the listing will go into MLS within 24 hours. as well.
Okay. So you must have a date there
Yes.
to not have it go active within 24 hours of signature.
Correct.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome. So this date can be 2 months away. As long as, as long as that date's there. So if you're doing coming soon, this is the coming soon date. This is the date you're putting it in MLS as coming soon. So you're still marketing it, you're just marketing it as coming soon. And
Okay,
then-
I'm confused now. Now, what Christine said, as an example, if her client doesn't want coming soon, and what date would you put for the MLS?
So.
Did I get that question right, Christine? I'm getting confused now.
No, you're fine. So if you don't want to use coming soon, but you don't want to put it in MLS, the date that they sign or 24 hours after they sign, put the date that you're gonna go active up here. It's the date you're gonna commence the marketing the property.
Okay, I understand that now. And then how long before that date can you put it in MLS? You can't, because she doesn't want to go coming soon, right?
Right. So you can fill out all your stuff and keep it incomplete. It won't be showing on the MLS until you put it as coming soon or active.
And then how long before does she have to put it in MLS?
You have to put it in and you have to put it in MLS on the marketing date.
Okay, all right, okay,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
that makes sense, but nothing prior to that.
No,
Okay.
because you can't market the property if you're not,
Okay, now I understand. All right, thank you.
okay. So, yeah. So make sure you have a date. I always like to see a date in there, even if it is 24 hours after the signing. Just because we don't like blanks. So says, don't put any blanks in there. Obviously, if this is not checked, you're not gonna put a date in there. But if that's checked, the coming soon advertising, I expect to see a date in there. Okay. Make sure they sign or initial by public marketing. So and then over here on the next page is if they want office exclusive, which is the firm exclusive listing, okay? Which is no advertising outside of the office. No marketing outside the office. Okay. So you can read this, the listing must be submitted to the listing service, MLS, and disseminated to its participants within 1 business day of any public marketing. So if you market it in any way, you need to put it in the MLS.
What if the
Right.
homeowner shares it on their social media or something like that, which to me would defeat the purpose of trying to keep it private, but what if the
Right.
homeowner does something like
Well,
that?
then you have to put it in the MLS.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah. Because that's, yeah, if you, that's why it's so important to tell any, vendors that come in there, the photos, it's like, this is office exclusive, so you can't tell anybody. Okay. Or, hey, this isn't gonna be listed until May, so don't let anybody in, don't tell anybody about it. Okay. Obviously, they're gonna tell people, oh, we're gonna list it. We can tell them, but they can't show them the property. Okay, so once if, especially office exclusive, if they share any of that information, then you have to put it in MLS. Okay. So then a lot of people are saying they agreed to a firm exclusive. So we don't want to market it. And then you go a month or so and nothing's happening. Well, go ahead and put it on the MLS and let's market it. So here it says you can't, obviously with an office exclusive, you can't publicly market the property. And then if they do, then you must amend this listing agreement accordingly using Form 710, which is the agency agreement renewal. Okay. Which is down here. She's got a sample one. So here's a sample agency agreement amendment that you would have to use if after they after it's publicly, or after the firm exclusive, they decide to put it on the market. You check there, you're right, you're going to amend this listing agreement. And then here you're going to put the firm exclusive agreement dated whatever date is hereby terminated, and seller authorizes agent to enter listing into the MLS. You would amend the marketing date as of that in 10A and check the marketing options in 10B. This is referring to the listing agreement. And then if applicable, a no coming soon agreement is or is not attached. Okay, then the client signs that and you sign it. Okay, that will take care of any marketing if they had a firm exclusive. Okay. Any questions on that? Okay. So basically, that's the biggest one that I'm coming across now is that 10A and 10B. People, I have to take that one back a lot. Send that one back. Again, with the coming with the expiration date for sure. And then the other thing that I have to send back a lot for is, and this is any agreement, either the buyer agency or the listing agreement, is at the very page 13. When it loads. When it loads, the main thing on page 13, that's where they sign. Make sure that they have the signature date there, whether it's through DocuSign, it automatically puts it up there. DocuSign, I think you have to put the date signed on there. But you need to add the so you have their signature, you have to put their email address, their phone number, and their current mailing address. If it's the same as the listing, put it up there, okay? So you've got the date signed. There's no email, so I'll probably return that and say add the email. If there's not, if they don't have an email, some, the older folks don't use the emails anymore. I had a couple of them that I've worked with that didn't use email. It's like, oh my gosh, how come you not use email? So anyway, just put no email. So I don't have to return it and say add the email. Because it's those three things: the email, the phone number, and the current mailing address have to be on all the either the buyer agency agreement or the listing agreement. Okay. And then when you sign, put your license number. The firm license number goes here. It's the C13291. And our phone number, the firm phone number, is 704-887-6600. Okay, and then the agent's phone number goes here. So make sure all that is filled out, please. Okay, any questions on that? All right. I think that covers about all of the ones that are really, that I really have to return a lot. Others, other than that, just make sure, if you're doing the listing, and let's say your listing went under contract like a day of or day after, and you didn't get this, don't worry about it. As long as you put at least the under contract one or the closed one could go in here too. So if you didn't get a copy of the active, don't worry about it. Use the under contract or closed, okay? And then just these are all required. So that's it. I think I covered everything. If you guys have any questions, please let me know.
Thank you so much.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Just you can contact me by email or whatever, and then we can I can answer all your questions. I'm just a phone call away, even though I'm 400 miles away. You guys all have a good day.
Thank you, you too.
Okay. Bye-bye.